Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Expat Brat. It's Salman Qureshi, and I am loving the NBA Finals this year. It's been amazing. I hope you guys have been watching it because it's been great 4 games to kick off, and I'm hooked. And I'm giving up my sleep to watch these finals, and I can't decide for the life of me who I want, which team I want, to take the championship. Part of me, like, I love the Celtics team right now, and they've shown throughout the whole playoffs this year that they keep coming back. I mean, part of it is their own mistakes. They kind of falter on offense quite a bit, and then come back in the next game and do well. But yeah, they've stretched it out to 7 games and got through. But man, I've been saying the Warriors, especially with Curry, they're on a mission and they look like they want to win their championship. And I feel like at this point now, after Game 4, I'm siding with the Warriors. Famous last words. It's like you can't predict the series at all. I mean, the whole playoffs has been quite unlike they sometimes become too samey or easy to predict. It's been a while since I've been like, I don't know who to put my money on, and guess what? I don't have money, so it's great, and so I don't have to put it on anyone and lose any money. That solves one part of the equation, but the second part is if I did, who would I put it on? And I really haven't been able to see that, but I'm loving both teams, and I do think now after Game 4 it's the Warriors, man. I'm saying it here. 3 games left. Is the Warriors going to take it? I think they might actually take it in 6 now. They might have just broken the Celtics a tiny little bit. But like I said, famous last word. This is me predicting stuff like people predict the stock market, right? And it always comes with a disclaimer. And people go, the past performance does not indicate any, what did they say? I can't remember the wording. It was basically it won't predict the future and it doesn't guarantee the future results. And I'm like, then what's the point, right? What's the freaking point of it? I know there's a point to it and you don't have to be smart about it, but I hate it. And I feel like every time I have, it's only gone down. I'm talking about the stock market now. And I just keep telling myself, why can't it just perform like in the past? Like, and if it can't, then what can I invest in, right? I hope you haven't been taking investment advice from me because historically speaking, it's been terrible. But historic data does not guarantee future results, so maybe my future uh, performance might be great. That's what she said. Oh God, it's too early in the morning, and I'm doing stuff like that. You can tell what kind of we. I have a very busy week ahead, and that's kind of it eats up. What I hate is when I'm busy, I find it harder to sleep. And so, in times when I really should be resting more to conserve my energy, because the kind of work we do is so physically intense and you got to be on top. It's not a desk job, right? Where you can kind of have your mind wander off a little bit. You're in a, if you especially if you're doing training or live shows, you're in there giving it your all, and you have to be attentive and paying attention and just being in the moment, and that takes work, man. And it's physically exhausting sometimes as well, so mentally and physically it's like a sport sometimes. It is like a sport. Why am I saying sometimes? Maybe sports is like theater. Why should I yield to the sports side? Sports is like theater, performance and high intensity, and the best ones make a big difference. Just saying that stuff now. But anyway, I woke up at like 2:30 a.m. and I'm just annoyed with my brain right now because I'm like, hey man, if anything, if any day I needed sleep, it was today because of this long week ahead where I've got multiple things on each day. So somehow I got to make it to Friday so that I can then rest Friday evening. Or I think I have something Friday evening as well. So it's Saturday that I'll have a break, which means I'll be with my kid, and that's not really a break. But he does sleep in a bit longer than other kids sometimes, so I'm good with that. Not that my brain, I'm saying that stuff and I'm thinking, actually, even on rest days, my brain just wakes me up. I wake up early, regardless of how late I've slept. And I don't know what it is, what you can do. Is it old age? But I've always been a bit like that with sleep. My relationship with sleep is terrible, and there are times when I'm just so tired that I collapse and just go out. Those are the best sleeps I get. And sometimes even those, they're not long though, right? I wonder if this is like a disease related thing. Shit. If it turns out in the future, this is the moment I had that realization and then didn't do a checkup and left an opportunity safe to elongate my life. Damn. Now now I'm upset with myself. And this is a downward spiral. It's just lack of sleep. I think that's all I'm telling myself. Lack of sleep. Oh boy. Yeah. That's got me excited, man. Though the NBA Finals, the next game, Game 5 is tomorrow, and I'm gonna put up some stuff on Instagram right after it's done to talk about how my prediction worked out. I really think Warriors in 6 might be a possibility. And yeah, but can't count out the Celtics, man. If you're a fan of either one of the teams, man, I feel for you because they're giving us heart attacks right now. But yeah, moving on to more important stuff. I've been reading the news, mind you. I'm a very intelligent person. I googled some news, and no, I do look up. I'm a news addict as well, so I will look up a few sites every day just for headlines and stuff. I don't often read too much into it unless it really catches my eye. Are you guys one of those people? I think a lot of people do it, and now social media is shaming us for it. They go, "Hey, you want to share this article without reading? You sure? You want to be one of those idiots?" And I'm like, "Yes." This is terrible. Anyway, so I do that, and but there were a few I did read, and I just that Justin Bieber, man, this stuff, this Ramsay Hunt syndrome he's got, apparently some kind of virus that affects, like, does shingles as well. No, shingles is supposed to be really painful, but this one kind of paralyzes your face, and he's got one half. And I know, at the risk of being slapped at an Oscars, I shouldn't joke about a condition like that. But at the same time, I gotta say, like, I was just like, he's not the most expressive person I've ever met or seen. And so I'm not sure how they were able to tell it was that or just him being himself. But maybe one side was like a little bit more stiffer than the other. I suppose that's how they found out. But there you go, man. Justin Bieber fans, don't kill me. Are they still as intense as they were early on in the days? I wonder. There were people crying and stuff when they couldn't get his tickets. I know that happened out here as well in Dubai when he came down a few years ago. Are they? Are you guys still like that crazy about him? I wonder. Who cares? I don't. I do care because I wouldn't. Then I don't want to joke about his stuff in front of them, not because it would hurt them. Just they might hurt me. So it's self-preservation. That's what it is. That's right. Um, but these people, man, with their news, sometimes celebrity news is both enraging and at the same time fascinating. Like I read about Prince William's. He just went like undercover homeless. Not exactly homeless. He didn't go homeless. So he was at some. He was trying to go undercover at a train station because these homeless people have this magazine called Big Issue Magazine, which they sell to make a little bit of money to keep themselves going in the UK. Apparently, I don't know much about it, but I read this and there were a lot of questions in my mind, like why can't they live in the place where the magazine is being printed? I don't know. It's just really bad thoughts. And I feel I've never been around homelessness because in the Gulf, you essentially can't be homeless here. If you're a national, like if you're from that country, then they'll take care of you because they have small populations mostly out here, and they'll provide you with some sort of housing. And if you're not, they'll kick you out of the country for not having a job and stuff. I think you're not allowed to sleep in your car and be homeless in this place, if I remember correctly. So yeah, you can't be homeless legally. So I don't know how that works. Like, what do they do with the homeless person? Probably deport them. I don't know. And so I've never felt the problem. I've never seen it around me, and I sometimes wonder why is it, why does it exist? And then I did read up a few things, and people are affected and they can't hold down a job, or different things just get you into that position. And Prince William was trying to shed some light on it, or helping out and doing this. And I can't help but think, but dude, your mom just spent, what was it, 70 million pounds or dollars on, or more, on celebrating her jubilee, her rule, right? I've been a queen for 70 years and everybody's got to celebrate that. Woohoo! Holy shit, right? Like, I can't believe people celebrate that and allow her their taxpayer money to use it on this stuff. It's crazy. And I was just thinking, hey man, I think you have plenty of money to maybe put some of it into building houses for the homeless or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, just thinking out loud. Like, there might be a better solution than you going undercover to sell some magazines where you weren't supposed to be seen. So I don't know how that's raising a thing, but then you were identified and that has shed some light. But what kind of light? Like, hey, oh my God, they're homeless people. Yes, the rest of us already knew that, man. Like, in terms of an issue in a lot of countries, and sad that it exists in the UK and the US, which are supposedly some of the richest countries in the world. And so you kind of go, wow, that's I think that was kind of dumb, if I'm just going to say it out loud, Prince William. I'm sorry. I don't approve of it. I think you have enough money to invest or raise funds for it and do it that way. That's your strength, not going undercover, not as a famous person. I don't know. Take some acting classes next time. Have a professional costume person do it for you. Then again, just some suggestions. Just some crazy suggestions. Oh, dude, every time I look, and I know I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but all I keep seeing is stuff about inflation and stuff. And it's going to be there for a bit. And whatever the governments do will cause a depression instead, which is, I don't know what's worse, right? Like, we're finally starting to get work and make money, and now we're like talking about we're gonna take away the money from people and destroy the business environment so that inflation doesn't kill us. It's like, you're just like, hey man, there's got to be a better way, right? There has to be a better way than screwing us either way. I don't know what that is. Who's the economist in? What are they up to? How does this shit work? Something's broken about the system, right? Uh, so I'm actually thinking of maybe I should reduce the higher cost food and stuff I take, because I looked at my groceries and the bills for that, how much we spend, and I was quite surprised actually how much I did, because I've never been very good with budgeting and with this kind of stuff, and I was like, shit, I can't believe I spend that much on just to live, just the bare existence costs a lot as a family to survive. And mind you, I live in a place where a lot of things are in control. I don't know how people in other countries do it. So hats off to you people in the US and everything, where, I don't know, like, and pay rises, right? Most people are working in jobs and they can't just raise their own salaries, and companies tell them off and they go, oh, it's not the right time and we'll figure it out until your top talent leaves and stuff. Oh, I'm in my HR zone now. But I was also thinking one of the highest costs is like meat and chicken, right? And I'm thinking maybe it's time to become vegan. But then vegan, you can't become vegan because vegan stuff is more expensive too. So you got to become vegetarian. And that's hard because my culture, we just don't understand that. It's like they think you've lost your manhood if you think about like stopping a meat diet. They just don't like. I've seen people react like over the top and get really aggressive about it, and I don't know, right? Like, it's funny because imagine like we keep complaining about vegans constantly telling us they're vegans, and the whole joke, and I get it, but at the same time, Can you imagine you serve some biryani without chicken or meat in it? And I know my peeps, they're gonna go, "Hey man, I am not a vegan. I'm not vegetarian. Where the hell is the meat?" Excuse me, I have to take a sip of my black coffee right now. Sorry, I took that interruption, but I was worried it's going cold and I need a cup of coffee today. So apologies for being unprofessional in my own podcast, right? So this whole thing, this meat stuff, as you know, so that's my problem. Like we actually are the same. We want the meat will tell everybody, but at the same time, not, but also, it's kind of like it's not. I know some of it comes from the culture and the religion, and I'm just thinking, listen, it's not, as far as my understanding is, it's not like our religion has come down and said you have to eat meat. It allows you to eat meat. It's completely different from having to eat meat, right? Like it's not like, if you're Muslim, like it's not like the five prayers that you have to do. It's a choice still. And if you reduce it, it's better for your health, because there is a fine line, there's a fine balance you have to keep with it. And also, if you chose to be vegetarian, you don't lose your religion, right? So we got to let go of that idea too, right? It's just crazy, and it needs to stop. And and we need to be more accepting. And we know the data, the science behind it backs eating less meat, at the very least eating less meat, right? The carbon dioxide emissions from cows and all the other stuff they cause, I don't know, right? Like it's just, all I know is bad for the environment, scientifically speaking. I've looked it up, okay? I'm not just speaking out of my ass. I just can't remember data. I'm not a memorite. I don't have great memory, actually. That's the honest truth. Unless I do, like, I Google this right now and pretend like I know it off my head and just read it off, right? I could do that and appear smarter than I am. But anyway, so all the data points at it. All the health factors point at it, that, you shouldn't be eating too much meat, especially not every day. Red meat in particular, which we love in our culture. And so, like, find that middle ground, right? Find that middle ground. Be a little easy on that, and just relax about it, man. No one is like after your religion and culture when we're saying that stuff. Culturally as well. Like, well, what you ask your parents and your grandparents, and they'll tell you. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you, because most of us come from middle class backgrounds. My mom was from the upper middle class. I think her grandfather and family were landowners in India, and so they owned a lot of land and money and wealth and everything. I've seen the old houses over there. God, phone should be on silent. That's so unprofessional again. And so they had quite a bit of that, and yet she tells me, that meat wasn't served every day, and chicken was not served every day. It was a special occasion, guests. Some of the pieces, like the leg piece, was kept for the guests. It was like this honor. It was the most prized piece, I suppose. And so my uncle, my mom's brother, tells me when he had enough money and he moved out and food was abundant in the Gulf, or later in life in Pakistan as well, early days, once commercialization hit and all this stuff was more easy to get, he just he loved having the leg piece. And I've always seen him through his life. If he's eating chicken, he'll like to have the leg piece, and it's a personal preference, but I think it's affected by that cultural thing. So that story just points to a very simple fact, and that's, historically, culturally as well, we didn't always eat meat every day, and there were special occasions and dates. Even when I was growing up, a lot of the food items like biryani, which is a tasty thing in our culture, wasn't served every day. It was like a Friday special thing, or weddings and stuff. And then it just became, everything's just so available all the time. It's not special anymore, and I hate that in a way. And we're just overly abundant, and we have all this rich food all the time. No wonder I can't lose weight. But that's our situation right now. And to cut back on it, again, isn't isn't someone waging a war on our culture and religion. So have a think about that. I'm gonna try better as well, and I'm on a diet this week because I've been really good at the beginning of the year, but the last couple of months have been terrible, and I've started stagnating or even putting back some of the weight, if I'm honest, because I do keep track of the stuff I'm eating, and I'm like, ugh, my calorie intake's up and the kind of food I'm eating is bad again. So I'm gonna pull back this week in a busy week. So I'm putting my body through a lot of stress. If I do make it to the other side, happy and living and breathing, then I will catch you at the next episode. Because I got to run now. Like I said, busy week and I got to start prepping for it. I hope you guys have a great week ahead as well and enjoy the upcoming games. And tell me, send in your questions. And like always, please review this. If you're on Apple Podcasts, subscribe to this. It helps me go a long way in spreading the word. And yeah, show me some love, people. I'm on Instagram as well, the Expat Brat podcast. And I will see you all next week. I'm still working on the music for the outro intro. You'll hear it one of these days, and suddenly you'll be like, wow, Salman's finally taking time to make an effort. But anyway, thank you guys. Have a great week ahead. See you later. Bye bye.